Hello everyone, this is Brett and thank you for tuning in to October 2023 Vinyl Finds. This month has been so incredibly fruitful for new releases and reissues, so this is going to be just about a dozen or so, a portion of the ones that we've acquired this month. So if you're new to my channel and have yet to subscribe, please click the subscribe button, hit like, leave comments, all that stuff helps support the channel. First up, Brennan Perry, Eye of the Hunter. This was his first solo album released back in 1999. This is a new reissue, just came out last week on 4AD. Brennan Perry, one half of the group Dead Can Dance. If you're unfamiliar, please check out the link in the description. I did a video a couple months ago with my friends Frank and Greg and original Dead Can Dance drummer Peter Ulrich, where we broke down and ranked the entire Dead Can Dance catalog. There's playlists and all types of recommendation. So this 2023 reissue, also on 4AD, you have a gatefold, and it is a 2-record set. The first record is the album, and it is on, and I'm not going to pull these out because they're on in these paper sleeves, and I've yet to clean them and re-sleeve them. But this is on this teal color, which matches the font on the front cover. I wish the labels would stop using these paper sleeves and just make it a law where they use polyline sleeves. Especially the price of records these days, that's the least that can happen. It opens with Saturday's Child, which is just a stunning, stunning track. The second record is live at the ICA, recorded in 1993. It's on this kind of greenish, Coke bottle-ish record. That recording's fascinating. It has a couple songs that Dead Can Dance would then record and release on their live album, Toward the Within, in 1994. And one of them is just a top-tier song in the Dead Can Dance canon, which is American Dreaming. It also has Don't Fade Away. And there's some Tim Buckley covers and stuff. So, Eye of the Hunter, Brennan Perry. Next up, this is an anticipated new release. When it was announced, I was very excited. Couldn't wait for this one to come out. It's the fourth record from the Danish artist Myrkur. This is called Spine. It's on this cool metallic silver record. How do you describe Myrkur? It's like folk metal, black metal at times. Sometimes it'll be really noisy and other times just really light and beautiful. Already a top 10 contender for Album of the Year. The second track, Like Humans, which was an early single, is a stellar, stellar song. So be sure to check that out. Myrkur, Spine. Next up, I don't remember when my wife Sarah and I discovered Chip Wickham. I think we were listening to a playlist and he came up as just kind of a auto-generated track, but this is called Cloud 10. This came out in 2022, and it's when I think it was when it was released that we discovered it, and it took us a while to actually just get it on vinyl. This is released on Gondwana Records, which is a Manchester-based label. Spiritual jazz. Chip is a tenor sax player. It features John Scott of Go-Go Penguin on drums. All original compositions. This is a beautiful listen. I highly recommend that if you're looking for some new jazz. It comes with an insert that has all the track listings and stuff. And this is on a polyline sleeve. So that's great. So Chip Wickham, Cloud 10. Highly recommend. All right, next up, this is first time on vinyl since its original limited run back in 1996. The third album from the Cranberries, To the Faithful Departed. It's so great to see these albums after the first two getting reissued and getting a second life. Forever Yellow Skies, War Child, Free to Decide, The Rebels. This is a real emotional listen. Cranberries, To the Faithful Departed. Well, it is Halloween season here, so we've been filling in some gaps in our Danzig collection. So Danzig 777, his seventh album, I Luciferi. This originally came out back in 2002. I'm going to show the color on this one because these all have really fun colors. So it's like this almost translucent black. I think it's called black ice, half white with this red splatter, and you see the Danzig skull there. Really, really fun listen, and of course, just perfect for this time of the year. And then following that up, we also got the 8th album, the first one not to be numbered. This is Circle of Snakes. This came out back in 2004. First Danzig album to feature Tommy Victor on guitar. Tommy Victor, singer, guitar player from Prong. This is on a white with a black and purple splattered. Really cool. Highly enjoyable as well. And then, if that wasn't enough Danzig to go around, ended up, I was very excited that this one got reissued. This came out back in 1992. I can't believe this is 31 years old. But the first in his modern classical albums, Black Arya. This is the first one, gatefold sleeve, and then his name and the album title are embossed. This is really good. I haven't heard this in a long time. So if you're unfamiliar with his just non-vocal, classical, instrumental, haunting, cinematic, really great stuff. And this is on a color blue and black, really nice. Black Arya, and I know Black Arya 2 is coming out, getting reissued next month, I believe. All right, next up, this is the second album from Pale Saints in Ribbons. Came out originally back in 1992, also on 4AD. While this just came out over the last few weeks, it is technically 31 years ago. There must have been a little bit of a delay. So Pale Saints, if you're unfamiliar, shoegaze, dream pop, going to use these classic bands to kind of, if you like Ride, if you like My Bloody Valentine, but especially Lush, if you like Lush, because there's an interesting connection to Lush in this second Pale Saints record. The original Lush singer Muriel Barham was the original vocalist in Lush, and she sings on, I think, 4 tracks on this one. The total standout is the song The Thread of Light. Really excellent stuff. This is the single black record edition. I know there was a deluxe one that has a bunch of bonus material, demos and such on the second record. One thing that I really noticed listening to this one is all the odd time signatures. You're tapping your foot along with this, and some of the time signatures in the songs are all over the place, which I found fascinating. And at the same time, they don't feel forced. They flow naturally. They go from being kind of chaotic to really light and dreamy. A real fascinating listen. In Ribbons, Pale Saints, their second album. Check that one out. Next up, another reissue. This is the second album from Fields of the Nephilim. This is the Nephilim. Originally came out in 1988, so this is the 35th anniversary. This is the reissue that just came out on Beggar's Archive. 2 record set on gold vinyl. Goth rock. The vocals of Carl McCoy, really, really low, deep vocals. First time on vinyl since its original release as well. Check out the song Celebrate if you're unfamiliar. It's kind of more of like goth ballad, I guess we could refer to it as. Really bass guitar forward, melodic bass playing. So that's the Nephilim. All right, next is 12-inch singles from Ministry. This originally came out back in 1987, and then it was reissued in 2014. This is the 2023 pressing on a double blue vinyl. Collects tracks from 1981 to 1984, non-album singles, B-sides, remix. This is the second record, has a bunch of previously unreleased songs. Every Day is Halloween is the standout song, goth club staple. Yeah, really cool to have this. Synth pop, industrial, Ministry. All right, next up, we're going to go with the 25th anniversary reissue of Jesus and Mary Chain's 6th album, Monkey. This came out back in 1998. I feel like this is an album that a lot of people don't know about or don't remember or didn't get back at the time. They broke up after it, went on an extended hiatus. And put out an album, 19 years later in 2017 with Damage and Joy. 2 record set. It's got printed inner sleeves on it. I hadn't pulled out the CD in a long time, but listening to this, I was really familiar with most of it. Standout track, highly recommended, Stardust Remedy. So if you're unfamiliar with anything off of Monkey, M-U-N-K-I, be sure to check out the song Stardust Remedy. And someone just woke up from a nap over here. So next up, another anticipated one. This is Anthology 2 from John Carpenter. Re-recordings of a lot of from soundtracks that he had done with his son and godson. This is the indie exclusive on blue vinyl. It has a die cut sleeve, so you can pull it out and flip it around, and there's different photos there. Huge fan of John Carpenter. This does not disappoint at all. You got Chariots of Pumpkins from Halloween 3. Wake Up from They Live is a total standout. This was excellent. I had one issue. This is my second copy. The day it came out, I bought it, came home, put it on, record started skipping, and I looked at it, and there were some serious gouges in one of the tracks. So luckily, I was able to exchange it for a copy that was fine. This is on Sacred Bones. I've had some other issues with some of their records, the quality control, so that's disappointing, but at least I have a good copy here. All right, last one. This is one that I was unsure I was actually going to get, but I watched a bunch of videos, people showing it, and ended up pulling the trigger. I'm really glad that I did. Van Halen, this is Collection 2, featuring the Sammy Hagar era. Now, Sammy Hagar wasn't, when I think of Van Halen, I just always have had this thought. I've always preferred the David Lee Roth era. And then I started, over the last couple of years, I started checking out some of these albums that I hadn't heard in a long time. I remember getting Foreign, Lawful, Carnal Knowledge with my brother on cassette back in 1991. I mean, I go all the way back, remembering 1986, the Dreams video on MTV, When It's Love from 1988. So I was familiar with some of it, but it just never got me. But I've been really, really enjoying this, and I'm really glad that I picked this one up. So a lot of you guys probably know about this, so I'm just going to show it anyways. So 1986's 5150, the first record with Sammy Hagar. I want to just point one thing out, is that they do come with inner sleeves, printed inner sleeves, but the records are so difficult to pull out of the sleeves, to the point where I ended up tearing a little bit of the inner sleeve just trying to get it out. So you're going to have to re-sleeve them all. I put them in polyline sleeves. So you got 5150, OU812 from 1988, When It's Love. Wow. Just a great vocal performance from Sammy Hagar. It's you know, I've known this song for 35 years, but it's now becoming one of my favorite Van Halen songs. Foreign, Lawful, Carnal Knowledge, 1991. Right Now was a huge song off this one, but the first single I remember back when we got this was Pound Cake, and I never really cared for the song until I listened to it recently and popped this on full blast. Michael Anthony's bass playing on that one, really underrated bass player, just those driving 16th notes, and I have a whole newfound appreciation for that song. 1995's Balance. This is an album I never listened to. I was familiar with Can't Stop Loving You, but everything else was completely unfamiliar to me. I don't have any of these originals to compare them to, so all I can say is I think these sound really, really good. And then we have this collection of studio rarities, 1989 to 2004, which collects a bunch of non-album tracks and CD-only tracks, songs from the Twister soundtrack. Whew. Anyways, there you go. Let me know if there was any new discoveries for you guys on this one, and any plans to pick anything up, and what you guys picked up in the month of October. Everyone have a happy Halloween. I will be back soon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.